What's up, everyone? First and foremost, I think full body is one of the best, if not the best way to train for the average person, for the beginner, intermediate, even the advanced lifter. I think it's highly customizable. You can train anywhere from 1 to even 7 times a week if you set it up right. I have a program on Boost Camp, and it's pretty popular. I think it's got about 350 people following it, so decently popular for someone who's not sponsored or anything. I just wanted to go over the program. It's a good beginner program. It's a good intermediate program. I think once you get to the advanced level, you might want to think about adding a day or adding a few exercises or being strategic with your exercise selection. This is a good beginner intermediate program to follow. It's 3 days a week, and I call it the Baki Training program. For one, it's because I like the way Baki looks. I think he looks really cool. I'll try to look like him in my own training. How I think he would train if he were to follow some type of lifting program. For one, he's a fighter. I think full body is the best approach if you're going to be in a sport or you're going to be a martial artist or anything like that. That's pretty much what I wanted to go over today, and I'll give you my reasons behind the program. If you want to follow it, it's on Boost Camp, and you can track your workouts. So we'll go ahead and start with day one. We're going to start with a squat. It's going to be 3 sets of 3 to 5 reps, and that's going to be pretty much your big strength movement for your legs for that week. You're want to try to push this 3 sets of 3 to 5. Once you hit 5, 5, and 5 is when you're going to go up in weight. You might drop back down to 4, 4, and 3, or 4, 3, and 3, or something like that. Eventually, you'll hit all 3 sets of 5, and then that's when you add weight. It's just a simple double progression. Next exercise is going to be an incline bench, 3 sets of 4 to 8 reps. Same method of progression as a squat. Once you hit 8, 8, 8 is when you increase the weight by 5 to 10 pounds. Your third exercise is going to be your first back movement. It's going to be a dumbbell row, 3 sets of 6 to 10 reps. Same concept as the squat and the incline bench, just double progression. Your next one is going to be a back extension to hit the lower back and the hamstrings a little bit, and the glutes, of course. 3 sets of 8 to 15 reps. The reason I picked a back extension here is because you're already going heavy on squats, so you need something a little bit lighter, like a lighter form of a hinge, just to get the posterior chain involved in today's workout. The next one's going to be a lateral raise for your shoulders. We're already doing heavy pressing at the beginning, so a lateral raise is going to be enough for the shoulders for that day. And you can use dumbbell or a cable here, or even a machine if your gym has one. Next one's going to be a tricep exercise, tricep pushdowns, 3 sets of 8 to 15 reps. You notice my reps are getting a little bit higher, and that's because we're going super heavy. We're not super heavy, but we're going decently heavy at the beginning, and then we're going to pretty much end the workout in the 10 to 15 rep range versus the 4 to 8 or the 3 to 5. So tricep pushdowns, cable. If your gym has a machine, use that, but it's going to be 3 sets of 8 to 15 reps. Next one's going to be an incline curl with a dumbbell. It doesn't really matter what degree your bench is inclined, just whatever feels good to you. I incline at about 45 degrees, and I try to get a huge stretch. I got a video of me on the channel I'm about to post on right now. So if you want to see how I do it, you can look at that. But any incline's fine as long as you're getting a big stretch on the biceps. 3 sets of 8 to 15 reps. The next one's going to be a calf press or a calf raise or a seated calf raise or some type of calf machine or calf movement. You can use them on a Smith machine. You can use a single dumbbell and do it one leg at a time. It doesn't matter. Just a calf raise or a calf press for 3 sets of 8 to 15 reps. And then you're going to have a decline sit-up. If your gym doesn't have a decline bench where you can, hold a dumbbell on your chest or behind your head or something, you can use like a rope crunch or just a machine crunch. 3 sets of 8 to 15 reps. That's going to be day one. I'll also post these 3 workouts in the description. Day 2, we're going to start with an RDL. The reason I do a Romanian deadlift is because we're going for hypertrophy. If you want to be more strength focused, then you can put a deadlift in this slot, and I'd say do lower reps, maybe 3 sets of 1 to 3, 3 sets of 3 to 5. But a double progression is going to be, probably the most bang for your buck progression scheme, especially for a beginner and intermediate. But we're going to do an RDL because we want to grow our hamstrings and our glutes and our lower back as maximally as possible, and we want to do it in a 4 to 8 rep range. So I think an RDL is going to be the best movement. And after that, we're going to do our big shoulder compound, which is going to be an overhead press. It's tough to throw in overhead presses when you're trying to hit a bunch of muscle groups in a week, especially in 3 days. But this is the slot we're going to throw it in, and we're going to do double progression on it just like everything else. Barbell or dumbbell or machine or Smith machine is fine as long as you're doing some type of vertical press. 3 sets of 4 to 8 reps. After that, we're going to do a lat pull down for 3 sets of 6 to 10. If you're strong enough to do pull-ups, you can do 3 sets AMRAP body weight, or you can do 3 sets of 6 to 10 and just add weight over time. This will be a good slot to do pull-ups if you can do pull-ups, but I'll just have it written down on boost camp as lat pull downs for 3 sets of 6 to 10. After that, we're going to do a leg press, and we're going to do a higher rep range for 3 sets of 8 to 15. That way you don't have to load up so much weight on it, and you can kind of push to failure safely. If you don't want to do a leg press here, a leg extension is fine. After that, we're going to do chest flies for 3 sets of 8 to 15. The reason we're doing 8 to 15 is we pushed our chest pretty heavy on Monday's workout, or the first workout of the week, for 4 to 8 reps. So I'm trying to get, just a little bit different of a rep range for the chest here. A machine pec deck or a cable chest fly or even a dumbbell fly is fine, as long as you're doing some type of chest fly movement. After that, we're going to do cable row, 3 sets of 8 to 15. Same concept. We did 6 to 10 reps on Monday, so let's do 8 to 15 here on Wednesday, or the second workout of the week. After that, we're going to do a rear delt fly or a face pull or some type of rear delt movement for 3 sets of 10 to 20 reps. I feel it better when I push higher rep ranges on my rear delts. If you want to do lower reps, 8 to 12 or 10 to 15 or something like that, just as long as you're doing a double progression and pushing it near or to failure, you're good. I'd suggest pushing all the way to failure. After that, we're going to have a lying triceps extension or a skull crusher or a seated tricep extension, but some type of extension that gets the long head involved for 3 sets of 8 to 15 reps. And then after that is going to be either a barbell curl or an easy bar curl for 3 sets of 8 to 15 reps. I'd say a standing dumbbell curl is fine, but I prefer you do a barbell or an easy bar curl. That's day 2. So I'm not doing any calves or abs here because nobody really wants to do calves or abs, but I kind of sneak them in twice a week. But you can do abs whenever, really. You can there's the 2 exercises I give you throughout the week. You can do them as much as you want. I'd suggest ending here on the second day with them too, but if you don't want to, they're not programmed for it, so you can just do it the Monday and Friday where it's programmed. Those are the last 2 movements: a lying tricep extension for 3 sets of 8 to 15, and then a barbell curl or an easy bar curl for 3 sets of 8 to 15, just so we're on track. That's day 2. Day 3, it's going to be our final day, and we're going to start with a hack squat for 3 sets of 6 to 10 reps. You can do a Smith machine squat here, or you can even do a leg press here if you did a leg extension on day 2. After that, we're going to do a machine chest press. You can do any type of machine. You can even do a Smith machine. I prefer like a plate loaded machine if your gym has one, but if you just want to do like one of the Life Fitness chest press or a Smith machine or something like that, that's fine too. You could even do a dumbbell bench press here if you wanted. After that, I call it a high row, but it's like an iliac pull down where you're pulling down at an angle. If your gym doesn't have that, you can just do like a lat pullover with the cables, or you can do just a regular cable row or pull down, but some type of back movement here. If you want to work more on your lats, I'd suggest more of a vertical pull. If you want to work more on your mid back, upper back, flare those elbows out and do more of a horizontal pull. After that, we're going to do our leg curls, because I think the leg curl is the single best hamstring exercise you can do, and I want to be able to fit it in. I wanted you to be able to do a couple of hinges during the week, but I think it's very crucial that you have a leg curl here. I'd suggest if you want to work more on your hamstrings on day 1, you can take out the back extension and do another leg curl there. After that, that's 3 sets of 8 to 15 reps. After that, we're going to do an upright row for 3 sets of 8 to 15. If you don't want to do an upright row there, you can do some other shoulder isolation exercise like a lateral raise, or maybe you want to work more on rear delts, you can do a rear delt exercise there. After that, we're going to do tricep pushdowns again. One thing you can do is if you did like a V-bar pushdown on Monday, you could do like a rope pushdown on Friday, but I would change the attachment from Monday to Friday just to keep it fresh. After that, you have a cable curl. You can do like an easy bar attachment, a V-bar attachment, a straight bar attachment, a rope attachment, whatever you feel best and whatever you enjoy the most. It really doesn't matter. The more you're got the neutral position, you're going to work more of the brachialis, and the more you got supinated, you're going to work more on the actual bicep. But it's all up to you, whatever you want to do. The last 2 exercises of the day is going to be a calf press or like a calf raise or something for the calves, just like we did on Monday, and then a hanging leg raise or a captain's chair leg raise or some type of leg raise movement where you're working. I know they say you can't really separate the upper and lower abs, but this is just old school stuff where we already hit crunches for the upper part of the abs. Let's do leg raises to hit the lower part, because I do think it is separated a little bit on those movements. I know everybody says it all hits the same, but I think it's important to have some type of leg raise and some type of crunch for the abs. So hanging leg raise here, you can do 3 sets of AMRAP. You can do 3 sets of 8 to 15 and add weight over time. But I'd suggest either doing 8 to 15 reps or as many reps as possible. Just go to complete failure on them and just do your body weight exercise, because you can really go to failure and push it all the way to failure depending on how you do the exercise. That's pretty much the training program there. You'll notice I give pretty big rep ranges for the high reps. The reason I give 8 to 15 is because I just want to make it more customizable for you. You can go as low as 8, you can go as high as 15. You can make your rep ranges there 8 to 12 or 10 to 15 or something like that. Give yourself a smaller range. I gave you a bigger range so you could mess around with it a little bit, because it's going to be your program. The reps and sets for the isolations don't matter that much as long as you're pushing to failure or close to failure. I really would suggest going to failure, especially for the arms and the shoulders, because they can recover fast. But that's pretty much the program. If y'all got any questions, just leave them in the comments, and I'll post all the workouts in the description. And follow it on Boost Camp. Give it 1 to 5 stars, whatever you think is appropriate. And I can post more of my programs in the future and see what y'all think of those. But that's all I got. See you.